everyone, how are you? Hope your day is going well. Welcome to Sunday Stream with me, Lee. I'm a hypnotist and I do hypnosis as one of my full-time jobs. Although lately I've been taking a little break from doing like in-person sessions and things like that, but I'm still here for you doing stuff like this. So I want to address one little thing, which is that YouTube has started to monetize my channel, which is good for me. I am not expecting a lot of money. However, sometimes YouTube puts ads in weird places, and I'm going to do my best to mitigate that, which probably means that what I'm going to do is have them at the beginning of a thing so that they don't actually interrupt conversation or hypnosis. I cannot guarantee anything, but I am working so that I have control over where things go. Just so you're aware, everyone needs to make a living, right? Anyway, so I want to say thank you for being here, because I really appreciate that you turn up for these Sunday streams. And I would love it if you would let me know if there's anything in particular you would like to talk about or do today. I do have something that was brought up last week, or maybe the week before. It's been a year already. So I am going to, today we're going to talk about unconscious actions, how to make them happen, and mantras that can help make that work better for you. I am a huge fan, if you haven't heard me say this a bazillion times already, I am a huge fan of waking hypnosis. What is that, you might ask? So for me, waking hypnosis is the act of acting as though you are perfectly conscious and doing the things that maybe your conscious self really doesn't want to do while you are in fact deeply in a trance. Hi, Kevin. And I love this so very much. I love this for a whole bunch of reasons, some of which are the following: that if you're someone who procrastinates, like you have something that needs to get done, but you have to do it, but you keep putting it off, right? Like, your unconscious mind doesn't care. Like, your conscious self will just be like, oh, I want to play this game for a little while longer, or oh, I have this other thing that I magically find that I'm going to do instead that has also been needing to get done instead of the other thing that's a little bit more important. Like, that's a very common thing for a lot of people. So, for example, it is getting hot in Florida, and it's been hot for actually a while. One of the things that helps keep your air conditioning unit from not overworking is either you call and have a service come out, and they will pressure wash your air conditioner to clean the fins on the outside so it doesn't have to work as hard, or you can do it yourself. I own a pressure washer, so today was the day to do it. Guess what? Getting the pressure washer out and hooking it up was the longest part of the job. The whole thing took maybe 15-20 minutes altogether, but that will hopefully save some money on the electric bill. So that's the type of thing that you too might find yourself procrastinating on. Like, it's not that big a deal. It won't actually take that much time. It's going to be highly beneficial in the long run. Hi, Lycan. And your brain just isn't making it happen for some reason, right? So I love the idea that if you're a person that has that kind of thing that needs to get done, or you hate doing dishes or dusting or vacuuming or laundry or whatever the tasks are that are required of you to do it. Now, you, depending on how long you've been following me, you may already know that I personally have a thing for hypnotized yard slaves. What does that mean? That means that you can mow the lawn, that you can rake, that you could edge, that you can do all that type of thing while you're deeply in trance. Now, to be fair, before I found my hypnotized yard slave, I did go through several candidates, and not everyone is as good with the actions as some people are. That means that some people may not be able to actually be in trance while they're doing yard work, but other people find that it's not a problem at all. They can be in trance while they're doing the yard work. They can rake and mow and edge and bag up stuff and redistribute, and it's totally, totally fine. Hey, Dirk. So when your brain realizes that these are things that you can do while you are in trance, while your unconscious mind goes, oh, let's just take care of those things. I had no idea they were so important because you were putting them off for so long. Your unconscious mind can do a couple things. Your unconscious mind can put you in a trance, make those things happen, and then your conscious self can be totally happy and support your unconscious mind making those things happen. So while I think about that, I'd like you to think about things that you might like to get done that you have been putting off. Or you would like to think about, you can think about things that you don't like to do on a conscious level that you just like don't actually actively make happen. So your unconscious mind doesn't usually have a problem with just making things happen. It is there, by and large, to just make things happen. Can you imagine if your conscious self was like, oh God, it's so much work to squeeze the muscles, to pump the blood through my heart. I don't want to do it anymore. No, we could all be dead, right? Like, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of effort. Thinking is a lot of work, is a lot of effort. Our brain takes our tiny little brains take up 20% of our energy consumption, theoretically. I don't know. I've never measured it myself. I'm going off of other people's words. But can you imagine? No. So our unconscious mind just does the work. And that's absolutely wonderful for it. So as you find yourself thinking of the things that you need to get done, whether you need to get it done and you don't like to do it, or you need to get it done and you just haven't been making it happen, you've been procrastinating for whatever reason, think about what those things are, and then I would like you to think about a saying that might possibly help you do these things. Why do I say mantra? Because the person who suggested this to us last week said that somebody else had done this and they had used you would raise your hand to go do it. And honestly, if you're using your hands to do something, it's not practical to have to take one of them away. So I would like you to think of a mantra that could help you into that mind state, that could help you do this thing really effectively and efficiently, and could help you feel really good about the fact that your unconscious mind is going to drop you into a trance. When it's time to do this thing, your unconscious mind can drop you into trance. You can think your mantra, you can do the activities, and then you can come up and be totally happy, both consciously and unconsciously. So one caveat, if you generally are not good at doing a thing, sometimes we need to do them on a conscious level to get how they work. But then, and I'm going to go through this a little bit too, if your unconscious mind doesn't really grasp how to do a thing, what's the point in doing it, right? You want to think about the best way that you can accomplish this thing, the fastest, the best, so that you don't need to do it again unless it's a recurring task. If you're I hate to fold laundry, then you're kind of out of luck, right? Because we need clean laundry on a regular basis. Otherwise, people at work start to shun you. Anyway, so think about what that would be, what task that would be. Think about what you might want to say that would encourage you. I'm a happy little, I'm a happy productivity machine, or I love yard work, or whatever it happens to be. Your brain can think about what that is, and you can find a way to make that happen. So when I was talking about, give me a second, I just forgot it. It was that second point that I was talking about. I think it was the second point, about the way, about how your unconscious mind can do a thing better, right? So like usually when you think about something that has to get done, so here you can start to engage your mind. You can think about a thing that has to get done. So for me, if I'm thinking about doing laundry, I have an organizer that I put whites, blacks, and colors into because I don't like to mix my laundry up that way. I mean, in any other way. So if it is laundry day, I also always do the white load, which is the bleach load, last, right? Okay. So I'm going to do 3 loads of laundry. I put 1 load of laundry in, I go and do some other stuff. I come back, I put that load into the dryer, I put the second load in, I go and do something else. For me personally, because I am not the kind of person who empties out the dryer and then like dumps it onto a bed and gets it done, this is what I personally do. I take every piece out of the dryer individually and I shake it out and I half fold it or organize it in a way that like the small things get put in neat piles on one side, and then I take the other things and I just drape them over the door, right? Again, this is my way of doing it. And then when I bring them into the bedroom where they go, I fold all the pants up put them in a nice neat little pile, and then I get my hangers out and all the shirts and dresses and things like that, get a hanger just slipped right into the top, and then I go put those away, and I go put the other things away, and then I put the small things in my drawer, and I'm done. Now, I don't really mind doing laundry, but you may hate it, and I had a housemate who hated it, and their guest bedroom was piled high with a lot of laundry. Now, maybe you don't have a lot of clothes for whatever reason, but some people that have a lot of laundry to get done buy new clothes because they don't actually like doing laundry that often. So would it be helpful if you found that you actually enjoy doing that sort of thing? It might be helpful. So perhaps when you say your mantra, when you think about what that's going to be for you, your unconscious mind can realize that every time you think or say out loud, whichever one is your preference, that mantra, that your brain then begins to like what it's doing a little bit more, that it takes satisfaction in the task at hand. It does the best job that it can. It learns as it goes. It gets better over time. And then you begin to like it and be really good at it. So you get faster at it, right? And that's helpful too, because something that takes only a little bit of time can be the thing that your unconscious mind can slip into your daily routine without your conscious self being too aware that you're even doing it. So like, what if you're in the middle of, like, say, watching a movie, you have to go pee, right? You need a pee break. So you go pee, and then your unconscious mind is like, oh, well, the movie's paused anyway. I could take 5 minutes and go do this thing, and then it would be done, and then I don't have to worry about it. So let your brain think about that for a little bit. Let your unconscious mind think about the ways that you can make that happen, the ways that you can find yourself in that place where your brain says, oh, I like doing this thing. Oh, I'm pretty good at this thing. Oh, I do it pretty quickly. So the more you find yourself thinking those thoughts, attaching those thoughts to that mantra, your unconscious mind can just be paying attention to what I'm saying right now and make that happen. Whatever mantra you have, whether you have the same mantra for everything or whether you have different mantras for different tasks, also totally valid. Whatever you find yourself doing, your brain just appreciates more and more the fact that you have this capability and that you can get these things done. Let's add something else to that, shall we? Because why not? As you find yourself tackling the things you have been putting off, as you find yourself tackling the things that you hate to do, as you find yourself tackling anything else, your brain realizes that there are probably other things that you have also not really thought about because they're not as important as those other things, but you could do them too. And your unconscious mind starts to flesh out whatever that task list is of yours that is either conscious or unconscious, or you observe and you add to it as you're going around your house or wherever it happens to be. So let your unconscious mind think about how it can do that. How your unconscious mind can begin to notice, pay attention to the details, the things around you that could also get done that might make your life better or easier. Sometimes we need tasks and sometimes we need like lists. So whatever works for you, let it work for you, because that's really important that your brain understands that it's here to support you in the things that are going to make your life better and easier. If you have like some severe issues with getting things done and your life is just super, super hard, I'm just going to encourage you to not stress about it too much, to allow your unconscious mind to pick like one thing that it thinks might make your life better. And maybe that thing is remembering, oh my God, I'm out of garbage bags, and next time I go to any store that has them, I'm going to pick them up. So whether you're by the Dollar Tree, whether you're at Home Depot, whether you're at the grocery store, whatever, you can go in and get the thing that you might need to start the next task, okay? I just really think that your brain knows that it has the capacity to do this to make everything better for you. So these unconscious actions that you can find yourself doing can lead to other sexier things, right? So like you're like, oh my God, Lee, stop going on and on and on about laundry and trash. I don't want to hear it, right? Because on a conscious level, nobody wants to hear that. But when your unconscious mind hears these messages, it can take care of those problems for you so that you have more time for the sexy stuff. And I think that's really important. A lot of people push those unsexy things off, and then it's a big problem. So, do you have something in mind that you think would be a good mantra for you to encourage you while you are unconscious to do these things? Also, if you do not yet have or think you have the ability to go deeply into trance all on your own, let's address that too. Let's give everybody, while we do this, we'll give everybody like some thing that they can do that puts them into a trance automatically when they do it to themselves. So when you do this thing to yourself, you'll go into a trance automatically, and then your unconscious and all you have to do is have the time to take 5 or 10 20, whatever minutes it's going to take to start doing the things, okay? So don't stress yourself out about it. We'll give you something that's really simple and really easy. Hello, you know what? I do not know how to pronounce your name, and I do not want to butcher it, but hello, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. So, I'm sorry. I think that's Russian. I don't speak Russian. I'm a terrible, terrible world citizen because the only language I really speak is English, and then a few smattering of words in other languages. But anyway, thank you for being here. Okay, so let's think about this and let's figure out how we're going to begin it. So let me get this down because my brain is going to do this better. So you're going to think about a mantra, and you're going to think about things that need to get done. And it doesn't have to be big, but mantra and things that have to get done. I am going to... Well, thank you. That's delightful. Hi, Roman. And hi, MyTube. So you're going to think about things that need to get done and a mantra. That's all you need to think about. And again, they can be tiny little things that need to get done. I'm going to think about how you're going to get into trance. And it's probably going to be an unconscious thing that you do to yourself that you can easily do. And in fact, I think it's going to be something like this. You're just going to grab a hold of your wrist, doesn't matter which one. When your unconscious mind is aware that you are doing a thing that's not that important, you're going to know that this, or however you find yourself doing it, is going to be your unconscious mind signal that now's a good time for you to drop deeply into trance, for you to be able to open up your eyes, for you to be able to move around. If you've never done that before, you're in for a treat. So your unconscious mind is going to be able to do that to itself, drop you into a trance, get up and do the things that need to get done. So you're going to think about that mantra. You're going to think about things that need to get done. When those are done, your unconscious mind is going to drop you into a trance. You're going to think that mantra while you do these things. Your unconscious mind is going to get better and better at doing all these tasks. It's going to get good at identifying what needs to get done. It's going to get good at doing the tasks. It's going to get good at doing them quickly. It's going to get good at bringing you back to where you were so that you are unaware on a conscious level that you have been up and doing anything. But you will notice at some future point, right, that things are getting better and easier. So if somebody happens to hate folding laundry, maybe from now on they can discover that this is a task, hi John, that they really enjoy doing. So whatever your task is, like you don't have to pick the thing you hate the most first, like just pick something small and relatively easy. I mean, I kind of think that laundry is relatively easy, but again, I don't mind laundry. I grew up in New England. My favorite thing when it was like a cold day was to do laundry and then to like snuggle in all the towels. So I might have a different association with laundry than you do. So I'm not sure how much help I was when I was a kid doing that, honestly, but it was warm. So, okay. And if you have never gone into trance on your own, we're going to practice that too, so don't worry about it. All right, are you guys ready? Are you ready to go into trance and to become good at doing all the things, all the tasks in your life that are like holding you back, that aren't giving you immense satisfaction? Oh yeah, and you're going to learn to love to do these things. Because the more your brain learns to love the things that you have to get done, the more likely they are to get done. And so that's really wonderful. Okay. Take a nice deep breath in. You can keep your eyes open and stare fixedly at something if you want, or you can let your eyes close. However you do it, it's totally fine with me, as you know. And allow your unconscious mind, as it pays attention to the sound of my voice, to find yourself dropping easily, effortlessly, and deeply down. Because your unconscious mind has been listening to all the things that I've been saying, and it is eager to make these changes happen for you. Our unconscious mind is always here to do the very best job for us that it can, and now we're giving it a new direction to go forward to make these things happen. Your unconscious mind is really eager and really excited to make these things happen. So just let that settle in. Let the eagerness of your unconscious mind to help make your world, your life, as good as it possibly can be, to help drop you down faster and faster. And as your unconscious mind drops you down faster and faster into that state of trance, you're going to think about your mantra. You're going to think about what needs to get done, and you're going to think about how you can do those things as quickly and easily as possible so that you can grow to, unconsciously at any rate, love doing these things, be happy to take care of them so that your conscious self has time to worry about the more fun aspects as you go on. So as you find yourself thinking about that, as you drop down deeper into trance, your unconscious mind, as it thinks about that mantra, it holds on to that mantra. Maybe it's just, I'm a happy toy, I live to obey, I'm the housemaid, whatever it happens to be, I'm the yard slave. Your unconscious mind can think about how good it is to find yourself imagining you doing those things. So what you're going to do is you're going to, unless you already can just drop yourself deeply into trance, if you can, continue to use your way of doing that already. If you don't, go ahead and just take one of your hands and encircle the other wrist with it. Just press your thumb and your fingers together and let that be a signal from now on for your unconscious mind to go, oh, now's the time that we're going to do this thing. This is your unconscious mind signal to your body to go deeply into trance, to open your eyes, to be able to move around and to get things done. This is a happy, happy state of I'm working, I'm enjoying the work that I'm doing a good job at it, I'm going to make that happen. As your unconscious mind thinks about the ways in which you can make that happen as powerfully and effectively for you as possible, everything begins to feel super chill and super calm within you. There's zero resistance. Your unconscious mind is just like eager to make these things happen, but it feels calm and ready. As your unconscious mind feels that calm readiness take over you, imagine you're sitting somewhere. You're, reading a book or on your computer or playing a game on your phone, watching TV, whatever. Your unconscious mind goes, you know what, we got some stuff that needs to get done. You drop into trance. You open your eyes, you come up, you are still deeply in trance. You have that thing that you wanted to do on the top of your list. Your unconscious mind just gets you up and you move toward that thing and you start to do it. Your unconscious mind can think about the ways in which you might do this better and more effectively, but the first time you're going to do it, you're just going to do it, whether it's washing dishes, whether it's picking something up, whether it's some task or some chore that I can't possibly imagine that you have going on in your life that you need to get done. And your brain just says, yes, yes, I'm going to make this happen. Yes, I'm going to do this thing. It's going to be great. Your unconscious mind does it to the best of their ability. When you're done, you feel really good about yourself. Every time you hear that mantra, however often you say it, your brain begins to feel better and better about the task at hand. That mantra that you find yourself thinking or saying out loud, however you do it, it makes you do this task better, more enjoyably. It feels really good for you. Now, I don't know what kind of reward system you currently have going on inside you. If you find that every time you say that and you move closer and closer with your actions to accomplishing that task, and you can build up a little bit of pleasure, say, then when the task is done and you go and you sit back down in the position you were in before and you come to full consciousness, are you hit with that pleasure? Or does your unconscious mind take all the pleasure for itself? You know, I've talked to plenty of unconscious minds and they too enjoy feeling that kind of pleasure. So whether it's one or both or all of you just feels so very good because you've gotten this thing done. And maybe your unconscious mind feels that it feels really good because it's put one over on your conscious self. I want to tell you, I am all in for that. I think it's fun. However you want to do it is totally good. So your unconscious mind knows that it feels really good to get these tasks done. Your unconscious mind knows that you're helping yourself out by getting these tasks done, by taking this chunk of time where you weren't really doing anything super important to do something more important in the scheme of things. Your unconscious mind is going to start practicing this action. It's going to drop you into trance. You're going to think your mantra. You're going to go to whatever task you have. Again, it doesn't just have to be one. Your unconscious mind is going to add in tasks as needed and as necessary so that you can get your life in a position where you just feel so good about everything in it, how it looks, how it is, what sort of things are on your to-do list, and the fact that you now have this free time to do other fun, sexy things. And of course, your house should look a little bit better. Your home should look a little bit better. So think about that. Let that happen. Let that all soak in. I'm going to ask your unconscious mind right now to think about a task that you want to do but you're not 100% sure about. So maybe this is the sort of thing that you have to find yourself YouTubing somebody to be like, how do I take care of X, Y, or Z? So your unconscious mind can also go to YouTube, type that in, watch a video or two to get better at a thing. So don't worry about it. Like if you need to learn some home organizational skills, if you need to figure out the best method of scrubbing your bathroom tiles down or something, your brain can do that for you while you're still in trance. Don't worry about doing that on a conscious level if these are things that fill you at the moment with some sort of dread or you've just been putting it off and putting it off. Because from now on, your unconscious mind is going to drop you into trance, whether it's going to do it by you grabbing your wrist or you're going to do it by some other method that you unconsciously already have set up. Your brain is going to drop you into trance. Think that mantra, go do the thing, feel better and better while you say that mantra, while you do that thing, while you learn how to do it better and better every time, while you take less time at it, while you find yourself setting up the way that you really want your life to be. While it's as organized and clean and as simple for you as possible, maybe you have some stuff that you have had to go through and you've just been dreading it. Let your unconscious mind do it. It doesn't matter what the task is. The better your unconscious mind gets at doing any of these tasks, the better it's going to get overall at you being suggestible in the right ways while you're deeply in trance. Because remember, you do these things while they're safe and appropriate, and you do these things while they allow you to get really good internally at knowing yourself and at realizing what it is that you can do. I'm not putting any limits on you, so let go of putting too many limits on yourself. The more you figure that you can do a thing and the more that your unconscious mind likes doing these things, the more successful you're going to be Don't let any internal or external voices tell you you can't or you shouldn't. Well, sometimes the you shouldn't voices are pretty good to listen to, but anything that we do may have some risks, so just take precautions as needed and then move forward with the things that have to get done, because you're going to feel so much better by doing these things while you're deeply in trance. And when you find yourself doing these things deeply in trance, every single part of you is going to enjoy the rewards. Okay, so while you're here deeply in trance, let your brain right now imagine you picking up one of those tasks and doing it, right? You can see that whole thing. You can maybe see yourself sitting in a chair or on a sofa or wherever you are, lying in bed on a early morning and you got up sooner than you expected. There's a thing that needs to get done. Your unconscious mind drops you into trance. You think your mantra over and over and over. It's mantras, right? So they're repetitive. You repeat them again and again. The more you repeat that, the more you do the thing. You get better at doing the thing. The happier you are to be doing the thing. You find yourself liking doing those things more and more and more. Your brain can store up pleasure while you're doing these things, and you can discover that you just begin to be incredibly good at doing these things, liking doing them unconsciously, and you don't have to worry about your conscious self, because your conscious self gets that flood of pleasure when you sit back down, and you can find yourself thinking about how fun and simple and easy it can be to enjoy yourself when these little tasks get done. Again, your unconscious mind is going to take the 5, 10, 20 minutes it needs to do a chunk of these things. And then you're going to feel how nice that is to let that happen. You're going to feel how very nice that is as your unconscious mind just realizes that it is perfectly capable of doing these things, and how good it feels as you start to do them. The more of these things that you find yourself doing, the more you repeat that mantra, the easier all these things get. The easier all these things get to do, the better you find yourself feeling about yourself, about your life, about the space that you happen to be in, about how easy it is to do these tasks. Your conscious self may well do some of these things too, and if your conscious self decides that it's going to start doing tasks all on its own, your conscious self can feel that delightful sense of pleasure when you're finished with them as well. It's always when you're finished, right? So let yourself, even if it's an ongoing task, even if you got something accomplished today, that's the finish for today. You feel really good. That pleasure overtakes you. You feel thankful that you decided to do that task. And then your brain gets into this habit and this pattern of continuing to do these things that are good for you on some level, that help you feel really good about yourself, allowing you to deepen your commitment to being able to go into trance and do good things for yourself. And your unconscious mind can just feel really proud of itself for doing all these things. Hold on to those thoughts. Hold on to those thoughts really strongly, really powerfully. When you come up, I'm going to have you test out your method of dropping deeply into trance and then coming up into a waking state of trance. And then I'm going to ask you to, give yourself write yourself a little note. Whether it's on your computer, on a piece of paper, do something that allows your conscious self to know, wow, I just did a thing that I was not consciously aware that I was going to do. And then we will bring you back up and talk about that. So hold on to those thoughts. On the count of 10, find yourself coming up all the way, wide awake, feeling absolutely amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, all the way back. Let me know that you're back by saying hello or something else. And as you find yourself coming back, you may have gone very deeply into trance, and that's great because we want that. We like that. We like when your unconscious mind is paying attention. Hello. Excellent. So we'll give people a couple, maybe a minute or so more to come all the way back up. Something else. it's not like you needed your procrastination anyway, right? There are other ways we can talk about procrastination today too. I would use the control room to make that happen. Probably. There are also other ways. But anyway, how about you find yourself? So if you are playing along and you are fully awake now, I would like to ask you to drop yourself into trance. Whether you're going to use this method, however you decided to do it, or some other method, let yourself go back into trance. And then write yourself a little note, send yourself an email or a photo, whatever you got handy, if you can do that. And then go ahead and come on back. Come on back up. And let your conscious self just feel really great. I know, not the control room. Why does she keep using that all the time? One of these days, I might do some fun timeline stuff, and we'll go back in the control room, and you guys can see if you have a subway or some other transit system of your own. As I said that, because I think I've talked before about how mine has like pneumatic tubes like a ATM or a bank teller might have. I thought of like putting a person in a pneumatic tube. Like they have something like that in Futurama, but you don't have your own little individual cubicle. So anyway, so when you're ready, when you've done that, come up and let us know what you... No, you probably won't know what you've done. Yeah, I think timeline stuff would be fun. I wouldn't be surprised if the FBI used messaging like that. I mean, I feel like it was a pretty popular thing. Well, that's fascinating. Do you have a shower? I mean, that's kind of interesting. Maybe you want to clean a bathtub, I don't know, but start with what you have. I mean, I end up cleaning mine almost every day. It's not a thing I enjoy doing, but ooh. Yeah, people's control rooms are absolutely fascinating. I love when we have conversations about them and people really get into the nitty-gritty of what their control rooms look like. I think it's just so fun. Oh, Lycan, what a shame. What a good brain you have. I didn't realize that anyone's brain would have considered procrastination as a skill. So I don't want to gross anyone out. Let's just say that I end up cleaning my bathtub every day because I have a critter that is semi-potty trained. But at least they're a vegetarian, so... Shh, shh, it's not a skill. It's not a skill. We've just determined that it's not a skill. So, does anybody have any other comments? Like, what's your mantra? Do you remember what your mantra is? Could you find that you could drop yourself down into trance and then come out of it really easily? Do you need any more reinforcement? Because we could do additional hypnosis that just focuses on dropping you deeply into trance, giving you another trigger, coming out and testing that. I don't mind doing that. We can do that like for another 20 minutes if you want. That could be fun. We'll add fractionation to the list of things that everyone in here is going to get really good at. It's very warm in here today. Oh no, how dreadful. So, like I already have both it's not really air conditioning. It's not air conditioning, but I have like air conditioning in here and like 4 ice packs. So Florida has been like 90 to 95 for the last couple weeks, and It's great. At least I've actually gotten much more used to it. Good, as long as you find yourself going deeply into trance. But I would like it if your brain begins to go into trance as quickly for you as it goes into trance for me. Okay, so let's do this again. So let your unconscious mind just drop you deeply into trance now. And as your unconscious mind drops you deeply into trance now, let you feel how really wonderful it feels to be in that state of trance. Let your unconscious mind just like plunge you down deeply into trance right now, deep sleep. Feel how good that is to let yourself feel that sensation perhaps of being pulled away from where you were deeply into trance. Notice how good it can feel to be in that state of being pulled more and more deeply into trance. And the more you find yourself in that state of being pulled more and more deeply into trance, your unconscious mind goes, oh yeah, we're here because we are going to be getting better and better at going into trance on our own, so that we can feel how simple and easy it is to enact all of these other things that Lee's been talking about today. So while you're here, let your unconscious mind just anchor where you are. So however deeply in trance you go today, your unconscious mind can just anchor that. So when you give yourself that squeeze on your wrist or however you do it, your unconscious mind can know that it's going to take you down to here or deeper. However deeply in trance you are always going to be, for this particular activity, as deeply in trance as you need to be to let your unconscious mind do the tasks, to allow your conscious self to not really know that it's happened until it discovers that, oh heck, that laundry is done. Oh heck, I, did this thing in the yard, whatever it happens to be. Hi, Dirk. So if you are already deeply in trance and you're already thinking about the ways that your unconscious mind can help you do these things better, more easily, can allow that state of trance to be really obvious. So you are deeply in trance right now. You find yourself thinking about whatever trigger you're setting for yourself, whether it's grabbing your wrist or some other thing that you have, or maybe you just have to imagine my voice saying to you, deep sleep, but awake. However you find yourself doing it, your unconscious mind can know that you're getting better and better at going deeply into trance and then at coming up into a waking trance so that you can do the stuff you need to do. Your conscious self has amnesia until it discovers that a thing has been done. If you need to know what has been done or how you did it, you can remember that. But if all you need to know is that you did a thing, that it is done, that you did it, then that's all you have to remember too. So let your unconscious mind think about those things, and on the count of 10, find yourself coming up wide awake. We're going to do this a few more times so your brain can get used to it. But wide awake on the count of 10, allowing your unconscious mind to then test that trigger out, to drop you deeply into trance, to do something. Again, write yourself a note, take a photo, send yourself an email, whatever it happens to be. Do a thing so that you can discover later that you're on a conscious level that you did a thing. That you did a thing that you were not aware of, and it's totally fine. So wide awake on 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Wide awake. And as you find yourself wide awake now, let your unconscious mind test out that trigger again. Notice that every time you do it, whether I'm telling you to or you're doing it on your own after this, you can get better and better at this. If you need to unconsciously get up, stand, move around, do a thing, let that happen so that you can test that out now. So that you can consciously and unconsciously be aware that you were sitting in this place and then you went and you did this thing. Your unconscious mind says, yeah, I can move, I can do these things, I could talk if I wanted to. I don't know if I look like I'm deeply in trance or if I look like I'm wide awake and totally normal, but I'm getting stuff done, and that's the important thing. And then when you're done, your conscious self can discover, whether it's right now or whether it's, in a half an hour, oh, I did these things. So you're all totally capable of making these things happen. So just let them begin to happen. And then as soon as you come up from doing that next thing, let us know so that then we can do it again. and we can do it again until everyone is like really until everyone is really confident and really comfortable that they can do these things on their own without me, and that you are going to be able to get the stuff done that you want to get done, so that your brain knows that you don't really have to worry about procrastination, skill or not, so that you don't really have to worry about that pile of laundry, so that you don't have to worry about putting those things away, whatever they are, so that you don't have to worry about doing the dishes or mopping the floor or taking the dog out. Spoiler, I'm always talking to the unconscious. It seems like I talk to the conscious self sometimes, but I'm not really ever doing that. So, the more you find yourself in that state of paying attention, of giving in, the easier it can be for your unconscious mind to know that it's just getting better at all these things. That your unconscious... So here's the thing, you've probably heard me say this before too. Your unconscious is the part of you that's doing all these things anyway, right? So if you have the thought that I want to grab a drink of water, your conscious self is not directing all your muscles to move, to grab that glass, to fill it with water, to drink it. Your unconscious mind has learned to do these things and it just does them. Your conscious self, if you lost every skill that you had for some reason, you know what that's like, right? You've seen probably videos of babies who can barely crawl learning to walk and crawl. They try and they fall down, boom, right? Like this is just what happens again and again and again. Excellent. Yeah, your unconscious should feel special. Your unconscious mind should feel special, because I'm here to tell your unconscious mind that it is special, that it's amazing, that it can do just about anything, and don't let the CEO, i.e. the conscious, tell you any differently, or anybody else, honestly. It just feels so very good for your unconscious mind to know how amazing it is. This is the thing, like so many people have been told the wrong things all their lives. They've been told that they're not good at a thing, or whatever, they're not good at anything. I love that, like, move, bitch, get out of the way. Yes, because we hold ourselves back all the time from doing all sorts of things for whatever reasons. And that's, it's normal. That is absolutely normal for whatever reason. Like, little kids don't seem to have that same problem until enough people tell them the wrong things. And some of that, it's not that I want you to reclaim your childhood. I just want you to reclaim that ability to know that your unconscious mind is super powerful, is super amazing, can do almost anything, and you should let it do almost anything. So the things that the conscious self theoretically are better at is being analytical and judging things, right? And that's important. So like when I was talking before about doing risky stuff, you want to be able to evaluate what those risks are, and sometimes that's a task that is better suited for your conscious mind. But if your unconscious mind says, oh, this thing might be risky, let's have our conscious self sit down and evaluate it, that's a thing you could have your unconscious self do too. Your unconscious self is super powerful, super amazing, and I encourage you to let these things happen. So it is nice to have you here, S. Thank you for being here. So if your brain, like I'm gonna praise your unconscious mind, which is essentially praising you, but especially your unconscious, because I feel like it's like the left behind part of us that doesn't get appreciated enough. And the more you appreciate what your unconscious mind can do, the better you're going to be. You can literally change what you think and how you are. And we know this because human beings change our behaviors and our thoughts all the time. But when you do it on a deliberate basis to acknowledge that you have things that you want to get done, that you have different ways that you want to feel about yourself, which are hopefully better, that you have stuff that you want to accomplish, your unconscious mind is a place to start. It's a place to start by making these things happen that just allow it to be appreciated. And I'm going to appreciate your unconscious mind. Yeah. Yeah, if anyone tries to steal your confidence, your unconscious mind can put up a screen and be like, nah, not having any of that. I'm sending it right back to you. Yeah, and some of that is that, like, there are definitely. So I have changed over the years as I've been doing hypnosis, and I've been saying these things to other people because I literally do what I just did. I pat myself on the head when I think my unconscious mind does something really special. But my brain is listening when I'm talking to you guys. So it knows that I think the unconscious mind is special. It knows that I think that we should do what we want to do and not limit ourselves. It knows all these things already. So if you have a praise fetish, at least on that unconscious level, I am here for you to tell your unconscious mind how good it is and how nothing's going to stop it and how it's going to get all its stuff done and it's going to be the best unconscious ever. That's you. Own it. I'll own it for you until you can do it yourself, but I'll own that for you. And then you can do it yourself and it'd be great. All right. So let's do that one more time. Let's have everybody. I think sometimes my unconscious is doing the talking when I do sessions. I feel right now it's kind of conscious, but kind of not. It's like my conscious self will set an agenda and my unconscious mind will go, okay, now get out of the way. I've got this. And your unconscious mind can do those things too. So, anyway. If you would like to find yourself dropping deeply into trance again now, let your brain think about how good it is, how very wonderful it is. And there's no need to get a big head. You're just wonderful, and you should own that and acknowledge it and feel a sense of confidence really deeply within you. And you can feel that sense of confidence really deeply within you. And you can know you're not going to take it from other people, whether or not you're really good at sassing back or clapbacks or whatever you want to call it. Your brain can know that it's just getting better and better at protecting you to allow you to be unlimited, to be the best you that you can be, to get all the stuff done that allow you to live your best life. So you're dropping deeply into trance. You're already there. It feels so good to be deeply into trance. And your unconscious mind can just know that right now you're doing that thing again. You're going to open up your eyes. You're going to send yourself a note. Do it while you're in trance right now, right? Because your unconscious mind can totally do that. And you can imagine yourself doing it when you're, at home and you're not listening to me. But your brain knows that you can do these things, and it feels really amazing to go deeply into trance, to feel so good at getting some stuff done, at surprising your conscious self. Wouldn't it be great if every time you did it, your conscious self was so surprised? Your conscious self basically gave you a good brain message or a good unconscious message. Let it do that. You don't even have to talk about it. I've already put that little seed there. So let your unconscious mind just get really good at thanking your unconscious self. Let your conscious self get really good at thanking your unconscious mind for all the stuff it's doing. And then notice how much better everything gets. So hold on to that. Come all the way up and test these things out. Wide awake on 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just like that. All the way back. Feel how good it is to be wide awake, to feel so good, to give into being wide awake and then dropping yourself deeply into trance. And of course, the more you find yourself in that state of dropping deeply into trance, the better it feels. And as you find yourself feeling better, you can give in to that. Go ahead and give in. Go ahead and give in to feeling as good as you possibly can. And the more you feel wonderful, the easier it is for you to do something. And as you do that thing, you can come out of that trance and your conscious self can discover whatever the heck it was. And the more you find yourself in that state of giving in, the happier it is, the better everything is. Yeah, well, you can start to give yourself praise too, right? That's what I was just saying. You can learn to give yourself the praise, and you can learn to let go of those other things. But I will definitely still keep doing that for you guys. So. So as you find yourself thinking about how good all of that is, and how wonderful all of that is, and how easy all of that is, you can just accept what that's like. Say yes and give in. I like that one. Yeah, say yes and give in is so good. Say yes and give in to how wonderful you are. Say yes and give in to how capable you are. Say yes and give in to how confident you are becoming. Say yes and give in to how powerful you feel. Say yes and give in to how nice it feels to get these tasks out of the way. Say yes and give in to having more free time to do sexy things. Say yes and give in to the way that your unconscious mind feels when you tell it what a good job it did, what a good brain it is. All right. And then when you're ready, go all the way back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take a nice deep breath in. Open up your eyes. 8. Wiggle around and stretch and move a little bit. 9 and 10. All the way back up. And then when you're all the way back up, go ahead and say hi. Let me know that you're here. I'm today, I don't know if you can see it, I'm wearing my Camp Mindfuck t-shirt. I have several of these in different colors. Thank you. I love that. And I like wearing these shirts around. Hello from Dizzy Depths. Welcome back. You can come up if you want. And yeah, it's like the time warp thing, right? Like, so I experience that too. Like, if I don't go into trance very often for other people, but when I do, I either experience two things. One is like immense time distortion, and that usually happens when I'm hearing and remember that I'm hearing everything, whether or not I remember it. Or I experience like a complete amnesia for whatever went on in the middle. So hear the beginning, hear the end, no middle, I'm out of it. And every once in a while, I have put myself into trance. Usually when I'm recording an audio, I've put myself into trance, and I don't remember the middle of the audio. Like, I have no idea what I was saying. So that's when I was talking about my unconscious mind talking to you. It's because sometimes I am consciously just not here, and yet here's an audio that I've recorded. I find that really quite amusing. So. Okay, folks, well, I want to thank you all for being here. I hope that you got something useful out of today, and please let me know when you find yourself using this skill, when you find yourself using this new skill, and you find yourself consciously aware that you have done a thing that you did not expect that you were going to do, please let me know what that was. Whether you leave it in YouTube, whether you leave it in the Discord, whether you DM me or email me, let me know what it is that you've done, because I think that would be so fun. I want to know that your brain is like, I've done the thing. I've done the thing. Yeah. I've done the thing. It feels really great. We're going to do the thing again. I, as always, just want to say thank you to my patrons and my Discord members, and for the people that are supporting my membership here on YouTube. It really means a lot. It's been very helpful for me because I've been going through a lot of stuff lately, and it's just challenging. So it's nice to know that I am supported, and I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you, and your unconscious minds too. So have a wonderful day. I will talk to you all later. Bye.